My name is Jim Pappas and I am on an adventure to find the ultimate cheesesteak. I have eaten over 800 different cheesesteaks on my journey, and I've learned that every Philadelphian has a cheesesteak story. Biting into a cheesesteak is a flashback to tailgating at a Birds game, the back of Mom's station wagon, or Dad's favorite spot. To some, a cheesesteak is a roll, meat, and cheese, but to me, a cheesesteak is passion. Every cheesesteak I eat gets graded on my 5-category 100-point scoring system. I've narrowed my list down to the top 16 cheesesteaks in the Philadelphia region. We are the city of brotherly love. Join me on the Philadelphia Cheesesteak Adventure as I answer the ultimate question: who has the best cheesesteak? We are at the Monkey Club on the border of Fishtown and Kensington. We're judging the Philadelphia Cheesesteak Adventure's Cheesesteak Madness. Today we're judging the final 4 for the Philadelphia region: Cleavers, Charlie's Roast Pork, Dattilo's Deli, and Gilben's Bakery and Specialty Sandwiches. I score the cheesesteaks using a 5-category 100-point scoring system. Each category is worth 20 points. The categories are the roll, meat, cheese, extras, and overall experience. Our judges for the Philadelphia region are Amigo Dan. Amigo Dan's a regular contributor for the Philadelphia Cheesesteak Adventure.
These are 2 different cheesesteaks here.
Dan and I have had over 100 cheesesteaks together. We also have Mark Twerksky, a corporate chef.
This is a good cheesesteak.
He's made a lot of $125 cheesesteaks. And our third judge, the smart judge, maybe the nasty judge, Diane Farina.
I don't hate it.
Event coordinator extraordinaire. In our first match, we have first seed Charlie's and 12th seed Cleavers.
Charlie's Roast Pork. We opened up about 18 months to 2 years ago, and we decided we wanted to do something different. You see all these beer gardens going all over, popping up, and they have all this dynamite beer. You go there, you look at the menu, and you need a dictionary. How about having the 5 basic sandwiches is what I always say. A great cheesesteak, a great chicken cutlet, great pork, great beef, and always one other. You can grab whatever kind of beer you want, but you can still get a regular South Philly cheesesteak. You'll never get your steak that was made ahead of time. When you walk in the door, I put it on the grill. It comes out fresh. We use top of the line everything. It's from the cheese down to the meats that we use. And that's just the way I believe. I'd rather give out a great sandwich than an average sandwich for a little cheaper. Our meat is that good that you come out, you taste it, so it's juice in it, and it's moist. It's on the best Carangi bread. Carangi is a South Philly bakery, and that's the only bread I'll use, and that's what keeps us consistent. First thing you taste is that, and then you bite into the meat, and the juices are still coming out of it. And it just works together in combination. I'm hoping everything goes well. Everybody out there is great. It's my whole idea what food is. Everything is different. It depends what you're in the mood for.
Cleaver Steaks in Philadelphia. Our family owned a cheesesteak manufacturing company, and we've been there for about 50 years now. My sister and I decided to do something a little bit different, so we decided to get in on the retail side. We ended up finding this spot, and we opened up the store, and we've been doing this thing since 2015. We try to showcase that the cheesesteak is more than just whiz with. Everything's cooked in fresh. Nothing's really pre-cooked. We use ribeye steak. We saute our own onions in-house, green peppers, portobello mushroom. We just preferred using the portobello to get fresh local mushrooms, and we cut them here, we slice them, we marinate them. I just think it adds a better flavor to the sandwich. That portobello mushroom is a fantastic taste, has a very good bite. It just goes well with our product. We work with Carangi Bakery for our rolls. But that bread, I mean, and that bread from Philadelphia and all these things, I mean, it just makes a huge difference. It's always about quality, presentation, and ingredients. We don't take claim to be the best. We just try to do the best that we can with all the great ingredients and try to provide a quality product with our customers, the same quality product every day.
Well, let's see. Charlie's Roast Pork. A lot of flavor. Good seasoning.
The cheese, I think in mine, I would like a little bit more cheese in mine. Definitely the mushrooms and onions in there give it a lot of flavor.
I like the roll. Carangi seeded roll. Meat is first bite I had, the meat was a little fatty. It's not a bad cheesesteak. You're the professional though.
It's got that good balance between a hearty meal and then like the thinly sliced, airy cheesesteaks we've had before where it doesn't seem filling.
All right, the Cleaver's cheesesteak. This one looks good. It's got nice sheen to it. Before I even pick it up, I could tell cheese looked nice and even. The roll is sturdy, not breaking at the bottom. I'm ready to dig in.
Definitely creamy. I got a bite of the cheese right in there. It's funny, I think they're both the same roll. They're the seeded Carangi. This one doesn't look like it's done as much as that one.
It looks so handsome. I mean, that's how I would describe it. Much better looking than the first one. I think you eat first with your eyes.
I know they do their portobello mushrooms with some marinade. And so that marinade is coming through. That's almost the first thing that I got, which took me a little bit away from what my nostalgia is of a cheesesteak.
The evolution of the cheesesteak begins, where it's very traditional, but you add the mushroom, you add a marinated mushroom. So now you've gone, I mean, you've actually almost taken 2 steps.
Both good cheesesteaks, both on the Carangi seeded roll. I felt that the roll was toasted a little better with the Charlie's cheesesteak. So that I give the edge to Charlie's on the roll. My nostalgia on a cheesesteak is I like the more thinly shaved, finely chopped, and between the two, Cleavers was that.
And I think because of the onions and mushrooms, plentiful, and I think the way it was mixed, I'd have to give this one, you know, to Cleaver.
If Charlie's roll was already a little firmer, then you put a firm provolone on it, and then mushrooms that aren't marinated, it's a much firmer, drier, a little drier today.
I think we're all in agreement that the Cleavers is the winner. I liked that cheesesteak. I wanted to eat it while I was looking at it. It looked great. It tasted great.
We have Gilben's Bakery and Specialty Sandwiches at 14th Seed, and we have Dattilo's Deli at 15th Seed from Northeast Philly.
Gilben's Bakery was established on March of 2016. But we started out as a bakery, a full-fledged bakery, and we found out that people really enjoyed our sandwiches. So we started making our sandwiches on our garlic butter toasted rolls. We love Italian bread. We eat it with everything in the family. So every time we turned around, we will always make butter garlic toasted bread with everything that we eat. So we just decided to try it on the cheesesteak. It took off. And we just put a Philly flair to everything that we do. Which we wanted to do is a very gooey, chewy cheesesteak. Because when you say cheesesteak, people don't say steak cheese, they say cheesesteak. But we have our special cheese, which is made up of, can't tell you that. Because if I tell you that, I gotta kill you. So we felt like we wanted to fold cheese into the steak and thinly sliced ribeye. And then we wanted to put a slither of cheese right on the top, melted cheese, so that every bit of the steak will have cheese on it. And everyone loves it. It's just a hit. Well, it's very popular because I think we put love in our food. Whatever we want to eat, we try to serve that to our customers. So we want every time a customer comes here, we want it to be a Gilben's experience. We got this.
Dattilo started in 1973. My father and my uncle, Ciro and Frank Dattilo, decided they wanted to bring a little piece of South Philly up to Northeast Philadelphia.
Basically a taste of Italy in the Northeast.
Didn't start off making cheesesteaks and sandwiches, but we started off selling specialty Italian goods.
To imported pastas, to cheeses, to lunch meat, sandwiches, hoagies, steaks, burgers, french fries, sides, you name it, we got it.
We used best quality ribeye. We get a nice roll made from Gino's Bakery.
Nice, crusty on the outside, softer on the insides.
Bread's the first thing you taste when you bite into a cheesesteak. You know, it's wonderful to have that nice, crisp Italian bread. That's the best part of the sandwich, is what they say. We top it with whatever you want. We have toppings from roasted peppers, broccoli rabe, sharp provolone, Cooper Sharp, American cheese, whiz, peppers, onions.
The last ingredient is love. Make sure love is in there and you're good to go.
Every single cheesesteak we make as if we're going to eat it ourselves. It's not rocket science, but we use the best quality products. Everybody has a great cheesesteak, but we're pretty sure we know we have the best.
Let's go with the Gilbens. I want to eat this. So it's done on garlic bread. Got a little bit of Christmas, tons of cheese.
You can definitely taste the garlic in the bread.
It doesn't taste like a cheesesteak to me, really. The garlic bread kind of throws me off a little. I don't hate it.
And a ton of flavor.
I just get a lot of cheese and garlic, not really tasting the meat right now.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, the garlic, to me, is a little overpowering.
You know, the garlic bread roll is what they do. They're a bakery. You know, and the slicing of it and making it more like a lobster roll. Yeah, it does make it for mushy.
Dattilo's Deli, very different from the Gilbens in that you're biting into something. The meat has a lot more texture. The mushrooms are right there.
It bites completely different than it looked. So I'm pleasantly surprised because looking at it, I kind of had some reservations on it, but actually this is a pretty good cheesesteak.
Look at it thinking, this is gonna be dry, I'm not gonna like it. And then when you bite it, and it is moist.
For a cheesesteak, you know, just your classic cheesesteak, I like this.
For me, the Gilben sandwich on the garlic bread, the meat was chopped up, a lot of cheese, and then Dattilo on the other side, you know, unassuming, and then you get into it, and it was a delicious cheesesteak. The meat had really good texture. The mushrooms were pronounced. You know, this was a tough one for me. Edging out by just 2 points, I've got Dattilo's moving on.
You're right on the money. These are two different cheesesteaks here. I think with the Gilpins, it was just a little bit too messy, and that garlic was just a little bit too much flavor for me.
You need to be in the mood for it. You need to know that that lobster roll style garlic bread roll is coming. Yeah, you gotta be in the mood for that for it to work.
Dattilo's, first looking at it, it looked a little dry. Actually eating it, it was enjoyable. It was a good cheesesteak. So I'm gonna go with Dattilo's.
Here we are about to name the best cheesesteak in the Philadelphia region. We have number 12, Cleavers, versus the 15th seed, Dattilo's Deli.
You know, there's a striking resemblance between these two cheesesteaks, as we all saw. They look like they could have been cut from the same sandwich. Texture-wise, you can see by looking at them, by eating them, the texture was pretty similar on the meat, the cut, the slicing, and then the chopping, kind of medium on both. The one downside to the Dattilo's was the cheese just wasn't mixed throughout. So although that allowed for the flavor of the mushrooms to come through a little more on the top, it was a little drier. I gotta go with the one that's mixed more evenly. That's my preference, and that is Cleavers.
I like what you said, right on the money. They do look a lot alike. Both great meat, plentiful also. You know, you do the judging, and it really comes down to overall what you like. And you know, you picked Cleaver, but I picked Dattilo.
They do look alike. They don't taste alike. Cleavers has a lot of cheese throughout. Dattilo's, they have a great roll. They buttered it. It was a little dry for me as far as the meat, because there wasn't a lot of cheese in there. Just judging on meat, cheese, and a roll, I'm gonna say Cleavers wins, because that's great meat, cheese. I mean, it's a great cheesesteak.
I agree 1,000%. It's funny how after all these cheesesteaks and all the variations, it comes down to the meat, cheese, and roll. It's got the basics and the next step. The winner of the Philadelphia region, number 12 seed Cleavers, in a tough match against 15th seed Dattilo's Deli. Cleavers takes the win. They're going to represent the Philadelphia region in the Final Four.